In today's video, we want to talk about Mode Network together with Merlin Chain because there is a new exciting option which I already talked about in yesterday's video, for example, but it seems like that there are still a few questions and I want to show you exactly the step-by-step process, how you bridge over your assets from Merlin Chain to Mode Network to get a 3x points multiplier on your MBTC assets which are currently sitting on Merlin Chain. I, for example, bridged the majority of my assets over because I think that's a great airdrop multiplier which we can get here with the big Mode token airdrop. And I also want to show you some use cases for the Merl token which should now already sit on your wallet. When you watch this video, you can, for example, track this down on DBank. This is my public profile here. And you just want to filter for Merlin Chain and there you should see your assets. That's the first 50% which I got airdropped straight from the team onto my wallet. And there are now a few protocols on Merlin Chain where you can supply the token and earn additional airdrops through it. The token is currently sitting at a price of roughly $1.30. So the value I expected it to be. Yesterday I said between $1.20 and $1.50. And that's at least the price for right now. So let's see where this goes over the upcoming few days, weeks, and months. I didn't sell any of my tokens and also don't plan to do it. So let's talk about the Mode Network airdrop option. This network had quite huge growth over the last few weeks since it went live in the beginning of February, as we can see here on DeFi Llama. Total value locked currently sitting at 244 million in all the DeFi projects which are on this network. And it's still pretty much underfarmed, and that's why I took the option to bridge my assets over. How you can now exactly do this is very simple. So you first want to come over to the airdrop campaign. This is very similar to Mint, New Paradigm, B2 Network, Merlin Chain, or all the others I already covered on my channel. Then you will need an invite code. Mine will be down in the description box. It's this one. Then you want to connect your Twitter account, and then you want to connect your wallet. And if you were already active on other layer 2s or on special protocols, hold special NFTs, you should already have some points on here. And then you want to bridge over some assets. Maybe some of you already bridged over some assets, some didn't. The gas token on Mode Network is Ethereum, and you can choose the official bridge. So you just come over to the bridge section and bridge it over from there. Or you choose any other bridge, like for example, Orbiter Finance, or for example, Mason.fi also offers bridging over to Mode Network. So you just scroll through this list, choose Mode Network, and then you can bridge over any asset you want. Just make sure you get Ethereum in the end to pay your gas fees over there and that you are able to do some transactions. And once you got assets over there, we now want to bridge over our assets from Merlin Chain, so our MBTC, to earn more points and increase our airdrop allocation. How you exactly do that is you want to come over to the Merlin Chain website. And even if you bridged over, for example, with a Unisat wallet, you of course have first to send the funds over to the EVM address you also just connected to Mode Network. In this case, we would just use the Particle wallet, and then you can choose the assets which are on here. So this is the smart wallet which is connected, for example, to your Unisat wallet and also shows all the EVM assets on here. So I would now just send over my MBTC through clicking on send over to the EVM address again, which I just connected to Mode Network. Therefore, of course, you need some BTC to pay the transaction fees. Again, you can get some BTC by coming over to Meson. Then you just choose the Merlin chain by clicking on BTC and choosing Merlin. Then you will automatically get BTC if you bridge over from any layer 2, in this case, again, Arbitrum. And then your wallet is already funded and you can do the transaction and send it over to the right EVM address. And once you got the funds on the Mode Network wallet, those funds are of course also on Merlin Chain, and now you want to bridge them over. So you just choose the MBTC here and then choose the Mode Network here in this case, and then you can bridge those assets over. I, for example, already did that. It cost me around $4 to $5. This of course depends on how high the gas fees currently are. I expect the network to be very congested, so you might do it when gas fees are lower, but that's the way how you can bridge your funds over. And then again, you can just come back to DBank, for example, check for the Mode Network, and then you should already see your assets. Those are the assets I, for example, currently have sitting on Mode Network on this wallet, so around 5.3K US dollars. And that's already it. Once your assets are bridged over to the network, you can see we currently get a 3x boost on our Merlin BTC. I think this will just last a few more hours. Then there will be a 7-day period where we get a 2x boost. And then after that, we will also get a 1.2x boost on our assets here. So it's definitely advantageous if you do it as soon as possible to get the most out of it. Then I want to also, of course, show you what you can currently do with your Merl token, or if you want to just stay on Merlin chain and want to farm for airdrops over there, you can use two lending and borrowing platforms, which are currently sharing most of the TVL on the network, despite from Merlin Swap, of course. And the first one here in this case is Avalon Finance, and the second one is Mage Finance. There you can supply all the assets, also the just airdrop Merl token, for example. And through that, you can get your hands on the share of the airdrop they distribute here. On Mage Finance, they offer 5% of the Mage token and also 50% of their Merl token allocation, which they will airdrop to their users. And in Avalon Finance, I think they will distribute 20% of the overall token amount. That's at least the last number I heard. I think they will have more than one season where they distribute those assets. You, for example, have a bigger variety of assets here on Avalon than on Mage Finance. There are just 4. So I think the best way would be to split up your assets and say you do it 50-50, because as of right now, I think it's very hard to estimate which of those airdrops will be the most lucrative one. If we put all 3 together, so Mode Network, Mage Finance, and also Avalon Finance, I think the most lucrative one out of those 3 is definitely Mode Network. And that's again a reason why I bridge the majority of my assets over to this layer 2 network, especially because they are backed by some big hitters in this space. So I hope that gave you a clearer picture on how Merlin Chain and Mode Network are currently playing together, what you can, for example, do with your Merl token allocation or all the other assets you still have on the network. The assets will be withdrawable in the upcoming days. I think it will take some more time. They were mainly focusing on the airdrop right now, so just be patient. Also, for example, for your allocation, which you get from the People's Launchpad, because I also received some questions for that. That should all be announced in the upcoming few days, and I will cover it in my next update video. If you don't want to miss that, just subscribe to the channel. I release content on a daily basis on here on such topics. If you like today's one, hit the like button. That's it. Thanks for watching and see you in my next one.